Best Buy lost a customer over $1? Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christian Taylor, and today I'm going to be sharing an experience I had at Best Buy that was enough for me to, well, stop shopping there. Alright, so the story goes like this. I walk into Best Buy with my brother. He needed to pick up a flash drive. So we go over to the flash drive aisle and we see a nice looking one for $14.99. Now above it, there was another rack that said $15.99. It was for the same product. I thought, that's interesting, and I noticed it said red on it. Okay, they're upselling the red one by $1. Well, they were all black, so I guess they just put black flash drives in the red slot, whatever. So we get the flash drive off of the $14.99 rack, and we go up to the checkout. The cashier rings it up, $15.99. So, I mean, whatever, it's $1, not a huge deal, but I was kind of curious. So I mentioned to the cashier that, hey, the sign said $14.99. So she was like, well, would you like me to check the price on that? And I'm like, yeah, I would like you to give me the price I saw on the sign. So she calls the manager over. So the manager comes. What seems to be the problem, he asks. She said, they said they saw $14.99 on the sign. It shows $15.99. So he calls on his radio, because you know everyone in Best Buy wears a radio. Hi, can someone go to the flash drive section in the back of the store and check the price on a SanDisk 64 gig flash drive, please? 2 minutes passes by. No one replies. So at this point, we've been holding up the line. We're starting to feel like idiots. Like, my gosh, all this fuss over $1. I was just curious as to why it came up differently. So after 2 minutes of waiting, the manager proceeds to tell the cashier to abandon her post and she can go look at the price. What? Are you that lazy as a manager that you can't go and check on the price at the back of the store so the poor cashier doesn't have to abandon her checkout aisle? And to make matters worse, it's been 2.5 minutes at this point, and you're still making a big deal over $1 instead of just discounting the item by $1 and giving it to the customer? So okay, whatever. She goes back, checks the price, she comes back, and then she's talking to the manager for another solid 30 seconds. This is when things got really weird, because I'm like, okay, she clearly went and looked at the price. Either the price according to her is $14.99 or $15.99. Come and tell me, yes, I'll honor the price on the sign, or no, the sign says $15.99 and let's be done with it. So after an additional 30 seconds of her talking to the manager over to the side, which I could see, she comes back and says, I'm sorry, the sign said $15.99. So whatever, we pay the money and I said, I'm gonna go back to the section and see the two different signs. So I go back there and what do I see? $15.99 for the red one, and what? Yeah, look at this picture I took. They removed the $14.99 sign. I don't know who did this, but somehow during that 2 minutes, they realized that we were right. They had to acknowledge it because they saw that sign for $14.99. They removed it, did away with it, and then pretended like it didn't exist. Now look, there are a bunch of problems with how this was handled. Number one, the customer is always right. You're arguing with the customer over a $1 price difference. They should have just said, oh, I'm sorry for that mistake, discounted the dollar, and been done with it. But okay, I get it, they want to make sure they're not being scammed, so they're going to check into the price. The second problem is the amount of people that work in that store, and not one of them could go when the manager asked them to and check the price. 2 minutes we sat there, and the employees were all just scratching their head and no one could seem to walk to the flash drive section to look at the price. Number 3, and this is the sole reason I am not shopping at Best Buy anymore, they lied to a customer. They knew that sign said $14.99 because they removed it. And instead of coming back and either just honoring the price, which they should have done, or I would have even been okay if they said, look, we had a signage error, this was an old price, we forgot to update it, so we've removed that sign now. No, instead of owning up to it and saying we made a mistake, they just lied and refused to acknowledge that that sign existed when it clearly did, and they knew it did because they removed it. So I put this entire thing on Twitter, and no response. Best Buy, what are you doing? They got outright shredded by people on Twitter. Like, LeBaron here was like, yo, T-Mobile, how about you show us what customer service looks like? And T-Mobile replies, like, Best Buy is just letting themselves get shredded on Twitter. How have they not even replied?
Somehow get out of the steel cage! Randy Orton!
Best Buy, if you're watching this video, and I'm sure you are, there are a number of things that you should do. Number one, you should apologize for how the whole situation was handled. And number two, you should definitely train your employees on how to proceed in the future, and that lying to a customer is never okay. Now, I'm not out to get Best Buy. I would love to give them a second chance if they make things right, and they prove that they're taking steps to fix this problem going forward. I think Best Buy is a decent company. It's just the way they've handled this situation means I don't respect them anymore as a company until they prove to me that they're changing the way they handle things and they're treating their customers right. So what do you guys think about this situation? Would you keep shopping at Best Buy? What would you do? Definitely be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please do hit that subscribe button and click the bell. I don't always do rants, but when I do, they're usually pretty good. And with that said, I will catch you guys next time.